Head college teacher, Department of Physical Education, Nistarini College, Purulia. It is my pleasure to welcome all the eminent speakers, guests, and participants from all over the country and outside the country. Today's webinar, Women Empowerment through Games and Sports, organized by Department of Physical Education, Nistarini College, Purulia, West Bengal, in collaboration with Department of Physical Education, Chhtrapati Shivaji Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, District Amravati, Maharashtra. So, that incomparable radiance that was born from all gods and permitted the three words come to one place and took the form of women. Women empowerment is a burning issue for establish the nation with a strong base of support. Women empowerment is a critical aspect to achieving gender equality, where both men and women have equal power and opportunity for education, healthcare, economic participation, and personal development. There are various schemes of government to empower women in modern society. So today's show well, first of all, I would like to call our respected today's webinar patron, Dr. Indrani Dev, Principal of Nistarini College, Purulia, to address welcome speech. Please, ma'am, continue.
Thank you, Pashupati Mahato. Today's international webinar is on women's empowerment through games and sports. It is being organized by the Department of Physical Education in collaboration with the Department of Physical Education, Chhtrapati Shivaji Kala Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Maharashtra. I thank this college for collaborating with us in this webinar. First of all, my deepest regards to Dr. Subhal Chandra De, our chief patron, the president of our governing body, the governing body of Nistarini College. He is also the controller of examinations in Shidukanu Bishya University. My respects to him. I also welcome to this webinar our chief guest, Sri Bhalya Sahib Kadu, B. Kadu, Secretary of VBP Krida Mandal, Belora. Our patron and the other patron that we have in today's webinar is Dr. Hanuman Klunge, Principal, Chhatrapati Shivaji Kala Mahavidyalaya. Welcome to you, sir. I also welcome the keynote speaker, Dr. Praveen Dabre, the Department of Physical Education, Sripad Krishna Kolatkar Mahavidyalaya, Jalgaon, Jamod, and of course, our international resource person, Dr. Avadesh Kumar Shirotia, Assistant Professor of the School of Education, Fiji National University from Fiji Islands. Welcome to you also. The subject matter of today's webinar is very important for in today's times because we are constantly talking about women's empowerment in this, even in the 21st century. And one of the best ways, I mean, we are having a lot of laws being enacted for women all over the country, all over the world. But laws will not get anything until and unless the people are made aware of this fact that women have to be empowered so that we can have an equity in gender in our society. The best way, one of the best ways to attain this equity is through games and sports. This is not only because women are encouraged to participate in all kinds of games and sports that exist in today's world, but from every aspect of games and sports, hello, I think I have some network problems. Anyway, from every aspect of the games and sports that we have today, this is becoming more and more evident as time is going on. Because not only because women are encouraged to go outside their locality, to go into the national games and sports, not only to participate in on the national arena, but also in the international arena. Women are going throughout the world representing the country, bringing accolades to the country everywhere they are going. That is a big benefit of empowerment. Not only that, the unisexual dress that women have to wear in sports and games, that itself is one of the major points in which equity can be gained. And in every game that we are playing, from kho right down to tennis, and even in cricket and football, women are making their presence known. This is very, very important in today's world. Women, the games and sports have to be encouraged in the women's world. And Nistarini College is a women's college, and we are doing our best. We have a very good physical education department in our college, which encourages games and sports in all kinds of types and in all kinds of types in games and sports are being encouraged in our college. Also in other in the athletic field, in the sports field, in yoga, for instance, women are encouraged to make their mark in today's world. In fact, women's bodies are more flexible in many ways than men's are, and women can make their mark in games and sports in many ways much better than men. So this topic, I will be very happy if today's topic is discussed in detail in today's webinar. And of course, our resource person from Fiji will do his best in this regard. Thank you all very much, and thank you all the participants who have come to this webinar, and thanks also to the IQAC of Nistarini College for collaborating in this webinar. Thank you all, and thank you Physical Education Department also. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So then I would like to call our Chief Patron, respected Dr. Subal Chandra De, Honorable President of Governing Body, Nistarini College, Purulia, and Controller of Examination, SKB University, Purulia. Sir, address inaugural speech. Please, sir, continue.
Thank you. Thank you, Pushpati Mahato. First of all, I must convey my deepest regards to Chief Guest, Sri Bhaiya Saheb B. Kadu, and the patrons of this program, Dr. Indrani Dev, Principal Nistarini College, and Dr. Hanumant Lunge, Principal Chhtrapati Shivaji Kala Mahavidyalaya, Maharashtra. And also my deep regards to keynote speaker of today's program, Dr. Probir C. Dabre, and our honorable resource person, Dr. Wades Kumar Shriotia from Fiji Highland. So today's webinar is very, very important in the context of a girl college like Nistarini College. The word women empowerment itself implies that women are not powerful enough. And this painful truth has been in existence for long time. But in India, in ancient time, the Harappa civilization, our families were basically women-centric. Society and its all kind of activities were controlled and monitored by women only. This was the golden era. Even in Vedic period, women had equal power. They were considered as equal partners. They enjoyed respect, education, and reverence. We can remember Apollo, Vishwambara, Mamata, Lopamudra, etc., the important names of the then period. They were properly educated. They can participate in open debate. They can dance. They can even preside over any meeting or assembly. They even skilled in warfare. As time passed, the Indian culture got contaminated with the conservative Middle Eastern culture. Child marriage, Shotidaho Protha, Parda system, polygamy, etc. engulfed the right of women in Indian society. Men were considered to be the leading members of the family. They were responsible for earning the livelihood and were the decision taker of the family. On the other hand, women were responsible for doing household work and upbringing of the children. Research says that women issues are either focused on her reproductive role and her body or on her economic role as worker. Almost every country, no matter how progressive it is, it has a history of ill treatment towards women. Apart from Sotidaho Protha, child marriage, girl child abortion, heinous crime against women such as rape, acid attack, dowry system, honor killing, and domestic violence, etc., are still happening in this world. In our society, women population should be 50%. However, due to female feticide practices, girls' child numbers are decreasing sharply. It is alarming. And come to the literacy rate, it is also very, very low. Even today, many girls of rural India are not even provided with primary education. Moreover, they were married early and made to raise children. Most of the cases, women are taken for granted by men as they are considered their property. Even at workplaces, they are paid less amount for the same work as compared to their male counterparts. This is true even for developed countries. The same thing is happening in film industries, in sports field. In film industries, you can notice the salary gap, the remuneration gap between a hero and heroine. And similarly, in say cricket area, a male cricket is very, very highly paid compared to his counterpart. We have to realize that to develop India as a superpower, the development of women is equally important, and it should be a priority to give her a chance to develop herself so that she can have self-esteem and generate potential in herself to compete with the world and to make the position of her choice. In this way, they can contribute equally to the GDP of the country. Women empowerment are to be materialized in main three directions. Number one is economic empowerment, and we must believe that no woman can be empowered if she is not financially independent. Number two is social empowerment. Man has to take leading role in this area. They have to share equal space socially. They have to consider women as a better half of the society. Number three is important, political empowerment. Women are to be given space in political arena too. They are to be placed in different political positions so that they can raise their own voice to tackle the issues which are related to women. Apart from these, government has many schemes such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Mahila Shakti Kendras. Even in state government, we have seen that Konyasri project, Rupasri projects are there to develop the women in the society and to retain their place, respectable place in the society. And over and above, we jointly have to abolish the social evils such as dowry, child marriage, domestic violence. We have to provide proper education, respect, and equal space in all strata of the society. And importantly, through games and sports, we can empower our women, as our principal madam cited here. It enhances health and well-being. It fosters self-esteem and empowerment. Games and sports facilitates social inclusion and integration. It provides opportunities for leadership and obviously of achievement. One thing we have to remember that women empowerment will not be achieved if the women in the lower rung of the society are not empowered. So it's very, very important issue, and I really thankful to the organizers, resource persons, collaborators, and also at the same time, I wish grand success of this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, in a valuable speech of women empowerment. Next, I would like to call another patron, respected Dr. Hanumant Lunge, sir, Principal of Chhtrapati Shivaji Kola Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, District Amravati, Maharashtra, to address valuable speech.
Chhtrapati, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Respected dignitaries present on the dais and of the dais, dear students and my colleagues from various parts of the globe. Respected Chairman Dr. Subhash Chandra Day, Honorable President of Governing Body, Nistarini College, Purulia, West Bengal, and COE SKBU, Purulia. Chief guest of the international webinar, Sri Bhayasaheb Kadu, Honorable Secretary of Veer Baji Prabhu Krida व व्यायाम मंडल, Belora, District Amravati, Maharashtra. Organizing Secretary, Dr. Indrani Deb, Principal, Nistarini College, Purulia, West Bengal. Convener of the webinar, Dr. Chhtrapati Biswas, Coordinator, Department of Physical Education, Associate Professor, Department of Bengali, Coordinator, Professor Mr. Pashupati Mahato, Department of Physical Education, Nistarini College, and Dr. Harish Kale, Director Physical Education and Sport, Chhtrapati Shivaji, Kala Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna. Invited speaker, Dr. Avdesh, Associate Professor, School of Education, Fiji National University, Fiji Island. Keynote address speech by Dr. Praveen Dabre, Professor, Department of Physical Education, Sripat Krishna Kolatkar Mahavidyalaya, Jalgaon Damod, District Buldhana, Maharashtra. I am Dr. Hanumant Lunge, Principal, Chhtrapati Shivaji Kala Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, District Amravati, Maharashtra. Welcome you all on the behalf of International Webinar on Women Empowerment through Games and Sport. I like to speak on certain benefits of sport and physical activity through the physical education, health, mental health, educational and intellectual development. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we are presenting Women Empowerment Pro Games and Sports, presented by Dr. Praveen Dabre sir. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the question box in our Google Meet or YouTube chat. So, our today's keynote speaker, respected Dr. Praveen C. Dabre sir, Professor, Department of Physical Education, Sripad Krishna Kolahar Mahavidyalaya, Jalgaon, Jamur, District Buldhana, Maharashtra. Please, sir, continue and take the charge.
Namaskar, everybody. Myself, Dr. Praveen Dabre, welcomes you all in this international webinar on a very fruitful subject of women's empowerment. Respected Chairperson, Dr. Subal Chandra, President and Governing Body, Nistarini College, Purulia, Principal, Indrani Deb ma'am, Chief Guest, Bhaiya Sahab Kadu, Principal, Dr. Hanumant Lunge sir, as well, the invited speaker, Dr. Avdesh Shirastria from Fiji, the organizing committee of this webinar, organized by the Nistarini College, Purulia. I'd like to remain in the depth of Nistarini College to give me opportunity for the presentation as a keynote speaker. Sir, I had to present my PowerPoint presentation. I think slides are there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Now, empowering girls and women through physical education and sports. It is a quite right and best subject. So far, today's era of wondering and empowering the women through various modes. Today, sports and physical activity are the strategy for the empowerment of girls and women has been gaining recognition worldwide. Women could be empowered through sports. It is quite impossible to have the empowerment through sports. We know that sports empowering particularly for girls and challenge gender norms. Sports participation offers girls an opportunity to build their self-esteem, courage, and self-efficacy. It is a place where they can take up a leadership position, and through proper organization of sports activities, girls believe in their own ability increases. Before going to this, I would like to share some other slides of Ministry of Welfare and Child Development. महिला एवं बाल विकास मंत्रालय द्वारा आयोजित जो वुमेन्स के लिए, लड़कियों के लिए, महिलाओं के लिए जो एक मूवमेंट चलाई जा रही है, इसके बारे में भी हम कुछ जानना चाहेंगे, देखना चाहेंगे कि इसके अंदर किस किस तरह से ये जो है, मैंने आपके सामने जो स्लाइड रखी है, इसके अंदर 13 विभिन्न प्रकार की योजनाएं, 13 various type of plans are made by the Ministry of Women and Child Development for the betterment of the women and childs, particularly lady childs or say female childs. The number one, Beti Bachao, Beti
The
Padhao.
slide are not moving.
No, it is not moving now. It is only visible, no? Is it visible? Mahato sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It is to be moved. Firstly, we have to discuss on this subject. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme, the first one scheme. It was rightly said that women are the enemies of their own. Females, particularly females, are enemies of their own females. Actually, what happens in this? This is the Beti Bachao. Beti Bachao starts from the fetus stages to the mature stages of the woman. It is very, very worse and worsening experiences as in the fetus, the girl childs or say fetus of female childs are finished in the fetus stages also. It is very worse and worsening. Though the government makes many arrangements to avoid such type of fetus killing, they makes the laws. They makes the laws about against that all kind of the checking before born of the baby. But our women are willingly to cut their female childs in the fetus stages. Always thinking that these females are of low cadre, particularly in the male-dominating society of India. The another one is the one-step center scheme, then women helpline scheme. Then number 4 is the Ujjwala, comprehensive scheme for prevention and trafficking and rescue, rehabilitation and reintegration of victim trafficking and commercial sexual exploitation. Ujjwala scheme has many objectives. Working women hostel. Ministry approves new projects under Ujjwala scheme as continue existing project. Swadhar. Swadhar means the एक इस तरह से आधार देना इनको completely rehabilitation stages के लिए लेकर जाना इस तरह की ये जो
Sir, only first slide showing, then all not moving, sir. Slide and please.
No, slide number 2 is there, no?
No, sir, first slide, only first slide.
I will share again, okay? Now, is it Mahila my Minister of Child Welfare?
Haan, sir.
Yeah. Then Nari Shakti Puraskars are given through the Minister of Women and Child Development. Address of Stree Shakti Puraskar 2014 and awards of Nari Shakti Puraskar. Address of Rajya Mahila Sanman and Jilla Mahila Sanman. Mahila Police Volunteers. Mahila Shakti Kendras, and the latest one is the Nirbhaya. These are the schemes adopted by the Ministry of Women and Child Welfare of India. Irrespective of that, we observed the trend of the decline in child sex ratio since the freedom of India. The child ratio defines as 1,000 boys between 0 to 6 years of age has been unabated since 1961. The decline from 945 in 1991 to 927 in 2001 and further 918 in 2011 is alarming. The decline in the CSR, child sex ratio, is the major indicator of women disempowerment. CSR reflect both pre-birth discrimination manifested through gender bias, sex selection, and post-birth discrimination against girls. Social consent discrimination against girls on the one hand is the availability, affordability, and subsequent misuse of increasing sex selection. Elimination of girls leading to low child sex ratio is one of the major issues, since coordinated and convergent efforts are needed to ensure survival, protection, and empowerment of the girl child. Government has announced Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Government had announced the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme, but the National Conference multi
Hello.
Hello, Navre sir.
Yes sir, आवाज आ रहा है. ढाबे sir.
I think connectivity problem था. Pashupati sir.
हाँ sir, हाँ sir.
He will be joined soon.
हेलो. हाँ सर, आवाज आ रहे हैं?
आ रहा है सर, आ रहा है, आवाज आ रहा है. आवाज आ रहा है. वो डाबरे सर का नेटवर्क का इशू था, इसकी वजह से थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. तो उनसे बात किया अभी.
हाँ सर.
Then,
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes sir, yes sir.
yes,
Okay sir, continue.
accompanied by any person, including public servant, relative, friend, NGO, volunteer, public spirited citizen, AWD, other frontline workers. These are the, actually what happens, these are the ways to upgrade the students, these are females, through the empowerment schemes. They must first realize that they must realize that the empowerment should be started from themselves. Only that's why they can develop their self. The government once again launch a scheme, another scheme as the Swayam Siddha. The Swayam Siddha is run by the women volunteers and dedicated to the development of consciousness and only qualifications to become one. Swayam Siddha believes in empowering women and making them self-reliant. This is very much important, self-reliant through the informal and non-conventional education. This conventional means the regular education. Non-conventional means this means other co-curricular activities, including sports, health education, physical education, yoga, all the things are the non-conventional education. And this should be included in the syllabus. It is a center of personality development, Swayam Siddha. Swayam Siddha is the center for personality development. And making women self-reliant and confident to undertake constructive work in the society. If we develop mother as an entrepreneur, mother is the entrepreneur of the home. She started education from the birth of the child. And the next generation will become owner instead of servant. Keep the physically fit, impart in them education and inculcate social awareness among them. सबसे पहले मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि women should start to teach, particularly mothers should start to teach young women to speak up. बोलना चाहिए. ये जो महिलाएं हैं, ये shyness is one of the best and better factor for the women, but they should come forward to speak. This is one of the most reliant factor. If they are speak, then and only then people can understand their views about the societies. Then number 2 is show them how to be leader. Leadership should be developed amongst the women by themselves itself. Let's girl fight their own battles. जितनी भी अभी तक ये जो स्कीम्स दिए, अपनी स्कीम जितनी भी अभी तक लॉन्च की है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने कहो, अपने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने कहो, ये सब महिलाओं के अत्याचार के बाद ये सब शुरू हुआ है. लेकिन मैं तो ये कहूंगा कि इन महिलाओं में इस तरह से दम भरना चाहिए कि उनका खुद का फाइट और खुद का बैटलफील्ड, they should select their battlefield and how to fight against such a type of enemies in the society. They should decide it. And the number 4 factor is very important, believe in them. उनके ऊपर विश्वास, खुद के अंदर विश्वास होना चाहिए इनके अंदर. ये विश्वास ही दर्शाता कि how women are encouraged and how they are empowered. Don't focus on the looks. This is one of the factors. These are one of the factors amongst the women. They like to faceless their own. That's why I am asking for that. Don't focus on the looks. Today, I have seen one of the Jharkhand lady. She became the collector at Tamil Nadu. And amongst the Tamil Nadu people, she is taking the, and one of the school students stand there, college student particularly, and ask her that, ma'am, you are not making any kind of makeup. You are not taking any kind of makeup and come, you are supposed to be a collector. And your personality should be like that. You should look like a collector. You should make your face or the things. But she believes, and she is from the Jharkhand, and she told that she actually very much puzzled with that question and wait for the 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes she replied that I'm not making any kind of makeups because I'm from the tribals and we are collecting the अब्रक धातु. अब्रक धातु हम जमा करते हैं. इस अब्रक धातु के कारण हमारे खूब रोई 2 मिनट के लिए पहले. उसके बाद उसने उसका रिप्लाई दिया कि मैं क्यों अपना मेकअप करती नहीं हूं. इसके बारे में उसने बताया है कि ये जो अब्रक धातु होता है, ये अब्रक धातु उस झारखंड के ट्राइबल्स लोग कलेक्ट करते हैं. और ये ट्राइबल्स कलेक्ट करते समय इनको बचपन में कभी इनको रोटी भी नसीब नहीं होती थी. ऐसी लेडी आज कलेक्टर बनी है. तो जब इन्होंने बताया कि मैंने अपने भाइयों को खोया, अपने माता पिता को खोया, तो किस तरह से खोया और किस तरह से इसने अपने आप, फिर इसके पास कोई जब जगह नहीं बची तब कहीं जाकर इसको वहां पर हॉस्टल में रखा गया. हॉस्टल में रखने के बाद इन्होंने वहां स्टडी कंप्लीट करके आज कलेक्टर के स्टेज पर पहुंची है. तो उसका कहना है कि इस मेकअप के अंदर जो अर्बक धातु का उपयोग होता है, तो मेकअप बनाने में इस अर्बक धातु से चमक आती है किसी भी चीज में. तो इस अर्बक धातु को यूज करके ही ये लोग यूज करते हैं. इसी वजह से मैंने डिसाइड किया कि अपने लाइफ में कभी भी मेकअप नहीं करूंगी. ऐसी ना मेकअप करने वाली कलेक्टर बन सकती है. तो आपको भी मैं सजेस्ट करूंगा कि ये जो फोकस है आपका, कि खुद को फोकस करने के लिए, खुद को दिखाने के लिए, दिखावे के लिए जो आप मेकअप करते हैं, इसको अवॉइड कीजिए. तो इस तरह से मैं नहीं कहूंगा, ये तो लड़कियों का सबसे ऊपर वाला हिस्सा है कि लड़कियां इस तरह के दिखने में, अपने आप को खुलाने में ये रखती है, विश्वास रखती है. तो इसी वजह से मैं कहूंगा कि इनकरेज डैड्स टू बी इन्वॉल्व. अपने पापा को भी कोई भी चीज के अंदर, अपने माता पिता के साथ, पिता को भी अपनी जो भी कुछ चीजें हैं इसके अंदर इन्वॉल्व करना चाहिए. एंड लास्टली, not least, but we are going forward, watch women in sports. हमने महिलाओं भी किसी तरह से स्पोर्ट्स के अंदर देखना चाहिए. Nowadays, Me Too movement is going on. This movement is very, very nice movement, organized at international, and women are encouraged to speak. This is the work. There is always developing new programs that speaks to broad array of survivors who find themselves at various points along their healing journeys. Our offering are at no cost to participants and seeks to activate survivors along their healing journeys. Help provide pathways to leadership and support individual and community transformation. For this is the website http://meeto.organization for the women to speak on. Once again, I would like to say that this Me Too movement is developed after the, कहते हैं ना कि इसके बाद जब इनके ऊपर अत्याचार होते हैं, इसके पश्चात ही ये बोलेगी, तब तक नहीं बोलेगी क्या? बोलना चाहिए. वुमेन्स ने बोलना चाहिए, अपनी अपनी भावनाओं को दिखाना चाहिए. इस तरह से इनकी वेबसाइट है और इस वेबसाइट को आपको यदि ज्वाइन करना है तो इस तरह से इनका एक फॉर्मेट है. मीटू पर आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. एक अच्छा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू आप अपनी भावनाओं को वहां पर खुलेआम वहां पर दिखा सकते हैं. और मैं कहूंगा कि आपको ब्रेव होना चाहिए. तो ब्रेव होना चाहिए, इसके लिए एक कोटेशन दिया गया है. इस कोटेशन में कहा गया है कि भेड़ की तरह पूरी जिंदगी जीने से बेहतर है कि शेर की तरह एक दिन जियो. जीते तो सभी हैं, जीते तो गिदड़ भी है. गिदड़ की तरह अपनी जिंदगी जीने से बेहतर है की तरह जियो. शेर कैसा किस तरह से अपनी खुद की हर चीज खुद के लिए बनाता है. कभी भी शेर कितना भी बूढ़ा हो जाए अपनी शिकार खुद कर ही खाता है. एंड यू आर द बंगाली पीपल. बंगाली टाइगर्स आर वेल नोन फॉर देयर हंटिंग पर्पसेस ऑल्सो. खुद का अनाज, खुद की चीजें खुद डेवलप करने वाला ये जो शेर होता है उसके बाद एक बेटर पर्सन बन सकते हैं. तो इस तरह से आपको मैं कहूंगा की तरह जो. Then once again be brave. And women and sports, this is one of the better and best option for the development of the sports personalities. Social entrepreneurship, economic empowerment. Through the sports, we got social entrepreneurship and economic. I have shown through the triangle also. These are the programs. Women's right best approach, high quality sports and programs, organizational capacity, advocacy, impact assessment, the sports and for the women rights movements. Women should have their own rights. Women are actually talkable or very talkable, but they are talks amongst themselves. They should come forward to talk in the public places and show themselves through the sports activities in the public places. Do sports and other physical activities build self-esteem and strength of a woman? This is the question in my mind. And for this, I have strength of the woman that should be celebrated more. Women are great listeners. Women have a lot of love to give. Women are brave. Women are natural born nurturers. For these 3 points, women have. I have one example. Listen from my parents. Once upon a time in Rajasthan, उस राजस्थान के अंदर एक डकैत गिरोह था. डकैत गिरोह के लोग 5 लोग थे करीब करीब. इन्होंने एक बहुत बड़े महल के अंदर डाका डालने के दृष्टि में काफी जेवरात, पैसा बहुत ज्यादा था, लेकिन घर के लोग कुछ कारणवश बाहर गए हुए थे. रात का समय था और 5 डकैत शस्त्रों के साथ घर के अंदर एंट्री कर दिए. वुमेन केवल उस घर के अंदर 2 या 3 महिलाएं थी और राजमहल की महिलाएं थी. काफी सुंदर राजकुमार, सुंदर दिखने वाली थी महिलाएं. तो इन सुंदर महिलाओं के ऊपर इन डकैतों की जरा नीयत भी खराब हुई थी. तो इसमें मैंने कहा कि वुमेन्स आर नेचुरल बॉर्न नर्चर्स. तो उस महिलाओं को ऐसा कहते हैं कि महिलाओं में एक नेचुरल नर्चर्स में नर्चरी होती है उनके अंदर. तो ऐसा कहते हैं कि एट एज 14, starting from the age of 12 to 14, they knows सामने वाले की जो भावना है इसके बारे में अच्छे से जानती है. वो इस तरह की भावना एक शक्ति है. उन महिलाओं ने, महल की 3 महिलाओं ने पहचान लिया कि ये डकैत हमें देखकर थोड़े पिघल रहे हैं, इनकी नियत. उसमें से सबसे सुंदर रानी ने इनवाइट किया, आइए साहब आइए, आप आए हो अपने तरफ धोकर ही आई चलकर, अब तो अपने को चांस मिल जाएगा. इसने क्या किया, इसने कहा कि आप ऐसा कीजिए, इसमें से आपका सरदार कौन है? तो सरदार बोले मैं हूं. तो सरदार ने फिर इस तरह से बोलने के बाद सरदार को उसने कहा चलो आइए साहब अंदर चलते हैं. सरदार को लगा बढ़िया जम गई. सरदार उस औरत के पीछे पीछे चलने लगा, उस रानी के पीछे चलने लगा. उसने घर में जाने के पश्चात उसको ठंडा ग्लास भर के पानी दे दिया पीने के लिए. पानी देने के बाद उसको गरम गरम दूध पिलाया. गरम दूध पिलाने के बाद एक फाइट के अंदर उसने उस सरदार के मुंह के ऊपर एक फाइट लगाया और इस तरह से उसके पूरे दांत नीचे गिरा दिए. दांत में के दांत नीचे गिरते से वो कहाने लगा. जैसे कहाने लगा, वो महली था, उसके अंदर तो साउंड प्रूफ थोड़ी सी व्यवस्थाएं थी. उस रानी ने उसको पूरा बांध कर खटिया के नीचे फेंक दिया. इस तरह से 10-15 मिनट उसके अंदर बीत गए. इस बीतने के बाद उसने एक एक करके हुए सभी लोगों को बुलाया अंदर. एक एक करते सबको बांध के रखा. उसके बाद उस समय डायल अप वाले फोन्स थे, उसने सबको बांध कर रखा. उसके बाद पुलिस को फोन करके उसने बुलाया और उनको सबको अंदर करवाया. इस तरह से वुमेन्स आर ब्रेव, वुमेन्स आर नर्चर. खुद नर्चर होती है, खुद की डिसीजन मेकिंग हो सकती है. और वुमेन्स आर द प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर्स. किस तरह से बढ़िया सा उन्होंने अपना प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर लिया. वुमेन्स आर गुड कम्युनिकेटर्स एंड उसने अपने कम्युनिकेशन के माध्यम से और आगे वाले की भावनाओं को पहचान कर जिस तरह से उस रानी ने, घर की महारानी ने अपने आप को भी बचाया, पूरे महल की संपत्ति को भी बचाया, इस तरह की ये महिलाओं की कैपेसिटी होती है। वुमेन आर एम्पैथेटिक, एम्पैथेटिक मीन्स सिंपैथेटिक भी होती है, वेरी सिंपैथेटिक होती है। इतना सब करने के पश्चात भी आप जानोगे कि महिलाओं में एक सिंपैथी होती है किसी के भी प्रति। कोई यदि किसी का ब्लड निकल रहा है तो सबसे पहले महिलाएं अपने खुद की चिंता ना करते हुए उस जो जिसको भी इंजुरीज हुई है उसके तरफ वो पहले भाग कर जाएगी, दौड़ कर जाएगी, अपने पल्लों को काट कर भी उसकी बाइंडेज कर सकती है। इतनी इसके अंदर सिंपैथी होती है। इस तरह से आपको हमें सबको पता है कि महाभारत के अंदर भी कैकेयी ने जिस तरह से अपने हाथ से एक्सल बना लिया था उस रथ का जिसके अंदर दशरथ शिकार कर, जिसके अंदर दशरथ लड़ रहे थे, इस तरह की कैपेसिटी, इस तरह की सिंपैथी, इस तरह की क्वालिटी इन महिलाओं में होती है। और महिलाओं को हमने कमजोर कभी भी समझना नहीं है। तो महिलाएं सक्षम होती है, लेकिन उनको बूस्ट करना, उनको राइज अप करना, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। इस तरह से यदि आप उनको राइज अप करोगे, उठाओगे, तो महिलाएं निश्चित ही उठेंगी। तो मैं इस तरह से आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि फिजिकल एक्टिविटी बेनिफिट्स फॉर वुमेन। फिजिकल एक्टिविटी बेनिफिट्स फॉर वुमेन किस तरह से है कि बिल्ड्स हेल्दी बोन्स। फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज के कारण महिलाओं के बोन्स स्ट्रांग होते हैं। महिलाओं की नहीं, फिजिकल एक्टिविटी के कारण एवरीवन बिकम्स स्ट्रांग एंड बोन मसल्स बिकम स्ट्रांग। इंप्रूव स्ट्रेंथ एंड एंड्योरेंस। फिजिकल एक्टिविटी के कारण स्ट्रेंथ एंड्योरेंस भी बढ़ता है। रिड्यूसेस स्ट्रेस एंड एंजाइटी। These are the very important factors of the life. Stress and anxiety, these are the psychological factors. They are comes under the psychology, and stress comes under the physiology also. Physiological stress is the different stress. Due to the physical activity, physiological stress arises. But the psychological stress and anxiety, these are the most important factor of the life. And these can be reduced only with the physical activities. Helps to control weight, reduces the risk of obesity, improves blood pressure and cholesterol level, reduces feeling of depression. सबसे बड़ी बात है, डिप्रेशन में जाने के बाद there is no survival. और physical activities can only able to reduce the depression. बूस्ट सेल्फ स्टीम, खुद के ऊपर का प्रभाव, खुद का कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाने में मदद करती है फिजिकल एक्टिविटी। प्रमोट साइकोलॉजिकल वेलबींग। ग्रेट बेनिफिट्स ऑफ प्लेइंग स्पोर्ट्स, बेटर स्लीप, फास्ट कंपनी। कंपनी मीन्स व्हाट? द फ्रेंडशिप्स बिकम वेरी फास्ट इन द स्पोर्ट्स एक्टिविटी. That exercise and sports triggers chemical and in the brain that can make the feels happier and relax. A strong heart, new connections, improved lung function, increased confidence, reduces stress, improves mental health and sports builds leaders. सबसे important है कि आपका mental health, जिसका mental health strong है, it was rightly said that 90% diseases are mental born. 90% diseases are mental born. If you are mentally strong, then you are physically strong. And it was again says that strong mind lies in the strong body. And this strong body can be possible only with the help of physical activities, sports participation, and any other activities. Girls play less sports. Girls should set up the example that they are able to play. And once again, they should make it social. Approach their school with ideas, of playing ideas. Don't underestimate the impact of feeling, body consciousness. Open a variety of the opportunities, and here the parent should be, particularly female parents, should encourage the girls or say her daughters for the role model to be physical education. The wider benefits of the sports on society. Sports can help people to become more social. Sports can help reduce obesity. Sports can help reduce depression. Sports can create happier people. The happier peoples are the sports person. They have no any kind of effect of lose or win. They have the capacity to bear up the lose and have the capacity not to be very much excited with the wins. They have the capacity of this kind of the capacities are the better personalities of the world. Sports can help to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Sports can help to reduce the anxiety. How many women from the India won the Olympics? Only 7. Only 7 women have the medals for India in their names. They are Karnam Balleshwari, Mary Kom, Saina Nehwal, PV Sandhu, Sakshi Malik, Chanu Saikam Mirabai, and Lorena Burgen. This graph is nowadays goes on rising. Initially, we are participating, but very less participation of the women. These are the medals. Karnam Balleshwari in 2002, Saina Nehwal and Mary Kom both got the bronze in 2012 London Olympics. PV Sindhu, silver, 2016. Bronze, Sakshi Malik, 2016. Mirabai Chanu, silver in 2020 Olympic. It's gradual rising, but it is to be rising on. These are the great personality of the sports, women's sports. Hima Das, Swapna Burman Athletics, Mithali Raj, Harmanpreet Kaur. Now, this is the last one. Suggestions from myself. I like to suggest school education should understand and be able to explain that physical education, which that ad hoc physical activity, manual work, and informal leisure participation cannot because of its emphasis on professionally led and organized developmentally appropriate and carefully sequenced physical activities. This is the need of the time. The complexity and multifaceted nature of the problem of girls' participation in physical education should be recognized and fully understood. Strategies for change need to be targeted at specific groups of girls and women and significant others such as fathers, husbands, and brothers, taking account of their particular circumstances. Local ownership of programs is crucial to their effectiveness and sustainability, and thus should be felicitated and encouraged by the policymakers. Advocates for girls' participation need to be constantly vigilant to biological determination and its adverse consequences, and to be ready to use facts to challenge such attitudes. The quality of early movement, learning experience is an urgent priority in order to minimize delays in the development of motor competence. Agents working at the policy and strategy level should seek to ensure actions are aligned across and coordinated within macro, meso, and micro levels. Since research is needed to provide evidence of the benefits of the girls and women participation in physical education as learning outcomes. Models also act as design specification to give the development of program suited to local needs and values. Thank you. Thank you for calm listening and give me opportunity to
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
have a keynote address on such wonderful subject.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions?
Important. Through physical education and sports.
Hello, dear all participants. Any questions? Please direct, speak to sir. Okay. No question. So our today's resource person, Dr. Abdesh Kumar Soryatri sir. Dr. Abdesh sir introduce our colleague, Mr. Rasbihari Mahato, Department of Sanskrit. Please, Rasbihari sir, introducing Abdesh sir.
Dr. Sirotia, sir, has obtained his PhD in physical education from Devi Ahulya Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, MP in India 2015, and MPhil with sports psychology specialization from the Lakshmibai National University of Physical Education, Gwalior in India 2009. He started his teaching career as a lecturer in 2009. He has been involved in teaching and research in the field of physical education and sports science for more than 11 years. Presently, he is functioning as assistant professor, secondary and sports education, School of Education, Fiji National University, Fiji Island. In addition to educating B.Ed in service and pre-service student, he also engaged in research and service to the profession. His research aims to empower the physical education teachers so that they can create an impact on the school. He is also contributing as a member of the editorial board and reviewer in the national and international journal. He has produced 23 research articles and papers in journals of national and international report and also written 4 books and 2 chapters. He is the recipient of the Early Career Conference Grant 2021 from the Association of Commonwealth Universities, London, UK. He has also received a commendation from the Office of the Additional Director General, Government of Uttar Pradesh, India, for his contribution to the establishment of Bhimtek Pustokalay in different prisons of UP in India. Now, I would like to call our resource person, Dr. Avdesh Kumar Sirotia. Please, sir, continue the address your speech.
Thank you very much, organizers. Can you hear me, please? Pasupati ji, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you please play my PPT from your end? Actually, I'm having some issues in my laptop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So, in the meantime, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the organizers for inviting me and for holding this important seminar on women's empowerment. So I'm very happy to see that you have chosen a very innovative topic. Since many college, many universities are organizing these kind of activities, but they are not focusing particularly on the women's. And women's are the backbone of our society, as rightly said by many philosophers. So we should acknowledge their role in day-to-day life. But it is surprising to see, and it is unfortunate to see, that we are not giving them a proper recognition, proper direction to fly. And there are so many hurdles as of now they are facing. But I'm hoping that these kind of programs, e-programs, the virtual programs, can create an impact on the society. So my heartfelt thanks to the principal, college, for organizing this event, and my friend Shri Pasupati Mahatoji, who invited me in this platform. So come to the first slide, please. I have chosen the very innovative topic, as you can see, but I can see that the participation of women in this program are very less. I can see only few women are participated in this event. So it is something the organizer needs to be clarified, because we are holding this kind of discussion specifically for the women. Anyway, we shall start. So as you can see that in the first slide, the picture, the power is equal to energy and time. Whenever I'm talking about the empowerment to my girls students, to my female students, so I'm focusing on the power, not am, not meant. You just need to attain the power. And the physics formula is, hopefully you all can see the physics formula, the power is equal to energy and time. So you can see our girls, our females are having severe mental health problems and have a shorter life expectancy and a higher risk of developing some medical conditions. So we should design some empowering program that may increase the women's level of physical activity. And that program may reduce the mortality gap. So in this particular endeavor, we as a physical educationist, we as an educator, should understand the importance of these events, how we can design the physical activity programs. Let me tell you to all my attendees, all my colleagues, that as of now, the leading health agencies such as World Health Organizations, UNICEF, they are heavily focusing on the physical activity. And somewhere the physical activity, exercise, and the sports, we people are using interchangeably. But it is unfortunate to see that some educated persons are using interchangeably. So this is a great concern in front of us. We should understand that exercise, physical activity, and sports are different from each other. So whenever I'm talking about the physical activity, please keep in your mind that whatever you are doing, right, whatever you are doing in a day-to-day life, we are the physical movement, we are calling it as the physical activity. And whenever we go to the gym, then what we can see exercise. So this is how we should create a difference between these terms. Next slide, please. So physical activity, as you can see, encouraging participation in physical activity is a global public health priority, as I mentioned earlier. And the promotion of physical activity is one of the significant elements of the strategy of public health institutions. And after this COVID-19, we have learned lots of lessons. Right? So everyone is saying that you should develop your immunity, you should do some physical activity, you should do some yogic activities to keep you calm and mentally fit. So see the physical activity, the importance of physical activities. And to plan intervention strategies for the promoting physical activity, is important to identify the motives behind persons' participation in physical activities. हमें कैसे प्रमोट करना है फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज के लिए, स्पेसिफिकली गर्ल्स को, स्पेसिफिकली वुमेन्स को. That needs to be settled down. Everyone knows that physical activities and women are doing less physical activities as compared to the men because of the societal pressure. Women are doing less physical activity than men. So we should develop some sort of physical activities that may include the sports, the recreational sports, the recreational games, so that they can enjoy. Because at the end of the day, हम क्यों करें? आप ये workshop क्यों attend कर रहे हैं? मैं इस workshop में क्यों lecture दे रहा हूँ? Somehow we must have motivators. So we should identify the motivators, how we can engage our people to take part in the physical activities. So this is all about the interventions which we all need to do in order to promote physical education activities. And as you can see, as you can read, you might be knowing that regular physical activity is proven to help prevent and manage non-communicable diseases. Non-communicable diseases, before COVID-19, our biggest enemy was the non-communicable diseases, NCDs, commonly known as the NCDs. And what are the NCDs? Heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some forms of cancers also we can consider it. And the regular physical activity can also prevent us from the hypertension, maintain body weight, and improve our mental health, the quality of life, well-being. So, my dear colleagues, physical activity refers to all movement, whatever the movement you are doing. Right now, I'm just raising my hand. These all are the physical activities. And popular ways to active include, since our Vedic periods, walking, cycling, wheeling, sports, active recreation, play. And it can be done at any level of skills and for enjoyment for our own sake. And let me tell you one very important aspect that according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, physical inactivity, not activity, physical inactivity has been identified as the fourth leading risk factor for the global mortality. पूरे विश्व में फिजिकल इनएक्टिविटी चौथे नंबर पे है, जिसकी वजह से सबसे ज्यादा मौतें हो रही है पूरे विश्व में. And causing an estimated approx 3.2 million death globally. पूरे विश्व में 3.2 million death. 32 लाख लोग साल में इस फिजिकल इनएक्टिविटी की वजह से मरते हैं. और यही कारण है जिससे हमें एनसीडीज लाइक स्ट्रोक, डायबिटीज, ओबेसिटी, कैंसर, काफी चीजें हमारे अंदर होती हैं. So now you can check why the physical activity is important for us. Next slide, please, organizers. So these are some benefits. I'm not going to, in a very detail, like physical, we can achieve the physical benefits, mental benefits, social benefits. Physicals are something related to our personality, जो दिखते हैं. मैं अगर मेरा अच्छा पोस्चर है, मेरा एब्डोमेन बड़ा मेंटेन है, मेरा बॉडी एकदम टोन है, मसल्स टोन है, तो it says something about my physical appearance, and it is very important in the personality aspect. Mental, abhi I'm going to share how you can get a mental benefits. And what are the mental benefits? हम खुशी कैसे पा सकते हैं? आज हर व्यक्ति के अंदर स्ट्रेस है. Everyone is undergoing the stress. The level of stress and the stressors might be different from person to person. Family, office, peer, siblings, couples, everyone is enjoying. Jobs, Corona, सबसे बड़ा stressor है हमारे आगे right now. So, how we can do? Why physical activity is important? And Harvard Medical School, since March 2020, has emphasized on please do some what you call the another two, the some other aspects are dear participants, whatever you want to ask, you can write on chat box. Right now, I'm not able to answer, but later on, just once I finish my PPT, then I'll take your answers and questions. So, the mental benefits, happiness, physical activities, Harvard Medical Schools and the WHO are emphasizing on. And the social benefits. Recently, I have conducted one study in gym. I have done one survey within the gymnasiums, and I have asked some questions to the female participants. Why you are doing exercising inside the gym? What are the various benefits you are looking for? And what is your ultimate aim to achieve in the gym? So majority of them have mentioned that we are developing our social circle while doing physical activities or exercising. It means they are also developing their social circle. हमारा सोशल सर्कल भी होता है. इनफैक्ट आप में से बहुत से लोग भी जब मॉर्निंग वॉक वगैरह करते होंगे तो व्हाट यू कैन ऑब्जर्व दैट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ वी पीपल आर हैविंग अ वन मॉर्निंग वॉक फ्रेंड, इवनिंग वॉक फ्रेंड, राइट. तो हम लोग जानते नहीं है ना वो हमारे प्रोफेशन का ना हमारे परिवार से है, बट व्हाट वी कैन ऑब्जर्व, yes, we have a good understanding with our morning walk friends and something walk friends. So these are some social benefits of our day-to-day physical activities and all other things. So for women particularly, because this webinar is on women empowerment, so I will be focusing how you can do the things. We generally, the majority of male attendees must be having their sister, wife, daughters. So what you can do, you can ask them to do any form of physical activities. Like in a very shortest form, what you can do, अगर हमारे घर में मकड़ी का जाला लग गया, अगर हमने जाला निकाला है, earlier we used to do the maintain the hygiene and sanitation, and particularly the day picked, what day we used to pick, the Sunday. संडे के दिन हमें सारी सफाई करनी है, जितना भी कूड़ा है, मैला है, कचरा है, सब बाहर निकालना है, जाले साफ करने हैं. So this is all about the form of physical activities. But unfortunately, in this machinery youth, in this materialistic world, we are not able to do the physical movements. This is the harsh reality in front of us. So what you all can do, you can motivate. You can motivate your females inside the home, how they can do some sort of physical activities. So this is not a rocket science, let me tell you. These are very simplest form. Next slide, please. So these are the very simplest kind of things. So benefits, as you may be aware that you can achieve, you can counter lots of NCDs if you are doing the regular physical activities. So these are the wake up call for our women, our mothers, our wife, our sisters. The study, which is the part of the Indian Council of Medical Research, India, Diabetes, the organizations, it is based on the Bangalore. And the most comprehensive analysis of their study, they observe physical activity patterns across states, and what they have found, women are far less active than men. Surprisingly to note, and only 3% women meet the minimum healthy levels of physical activity. The 3% women, it's a very, very big question mark in front of us. How we can provide them a security, safety, and the chances of heart attacks are more than, they are having a more chances of heart attack because they are not taking the vitamin D, the natural vitamin D, the sun rays. So the 3% women meet the minimum healthy levels of physical activity. And it brings a clutch of health benefits, such as reduction in the risk of hypertension. अब वही बात है कि अगर जो 3% वुमेन ले रही हैं फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, तो एनसीडीज तो बढ़ेंगी, जिसमें हाइपरटेंशन, कोरोनरी हार्ट डिजीज, stroke, diabetes, and for specifically women's, the breast and the colon cancer, obesity, depression, risk of falls, and improvement in bone and their functional health. अब वो नहीं ले रहे हैं फिजिकल एक्टिविटी एम्पल अमाउंट में एज पर द रिकमेंडेड बाय द ग्लोबल रिकमेंडेशन बाय द WHO, तो ये सारी बीमारियां होती हैं उन्हें. And another study being carried out by the World Health Organization, what they have found, nearly half of Indian women are not as active as they ought to be. Half of Indian women are not as active as they ought to be. जितना उन्हें होना चाहिए, half of the Indian women है नहीं. और Indian study में निकला 3% women meet the minimum healthy level of physical activity. And what are the global recommendations? I'm talking about the adult from the age range from 17 to the 64. They must do at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity. 150 to 300 minutes in a day. Or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity throughout the week. घर में जब तक ये मशीनरी युग नहीं था तब तक हमारे घर में हम लोग भी, पुरुष भी, महिला सब लोग करते थे, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली अभी मशीन आ गया तो सारा काम मशीन कर रहे हैं, तो इतना तो नहीं हो पाता है. So we as a physical educationist, we all physical educationists, the public health experts needs to design a good program which may caters the requirement of our females, how they can do the physical activities without hampering their day-to-day schedule. Because the societal pressure, अगर घर से कोई महिला निकलने जा रही है कि मैं चलो फिजिकल एक्टिविटी कर लूँ 1 घंटा जाऊं, तो सोसाइटल प्रेशर, बच्चों को खाना कौन देगा, पतिदेव को रोटी कौन देगा, लंच कौन देगा, right? So there are so many societal pressures, and whatever I am speaking, I'm not sharing my experience. I'm sharing the outcomes, excerpts of the international research studies being carried out by the renowned authors and got published in a very renowned reputed journal like Lancet, right? So these are the some findings which I'm sharing with you. This is not my thoughts. Societal pressure, right? And some community pressures also. Particular community is not allowing their females to move outside. But it is good to see that now Saudi Arabia and some Gulf countries are allowing their women. So this is the, we should take their paths. We should follow their paths. How we can promote the physical activities, how we can promote some sporting activities for our females. So you can see we are not maintaining the global recommendations of the WHO. This is the wake-up call in front of us. I am also doing one of the research, and what I found, females in schools, particularly adolescent school girls, they are not taking interest in physical education classes. When I have asked the question, why you are not taking, do you know that, don't you know these are very important for you? And they girls have mentioned, sir, we know that these are very beneficial for us, but there are so many challenges in front of us. I said, what challenges you are facing? Sir, we need to have a female physical education teachers. Another important and the genuine issue, right? But I'm very happy that majority of the Indian schools are now recruiting the female physical education teachers also. Right, so these are some societal pressures, right? So dress कहाँ बदले लड़कियां, अगर वो आप उन्हें स्पोर्ट्स खिलाने के लिए ला रहे हैं ग्राउंड में, अगर आप स्पोर्ट्स, आपका बच्ची, आपकी बेटी, आपकी बहन स्कूल में अगर खेल रही है स्कूल में, तो वो ड्रेस कहाँ बदले? वॉशरूम एक है, कोई लॉकर रूम नहीं है. 45 मिनट्स के पीरियड में 5 मिनट्स लाइन का हो गया, 10 मिनट्स अगर कपड़े बदलने जाएंगे तो 15 मिनट्स खत्म हो गए, फिर 30 मिनट में लास्ट में क्या होता है, फिर लड़कियों को और इनफैक्ट लड़कों को भी 10 मिनट पहले जाना होगा क्योंकि ड्रेस चेंज करनी है. वॉशरूम लिमिटेड होते हैं, राइट, लॉकर होते नहीं है. तो अब क्या हो गया, तो वो 20 मिनट्स का फिजिकल एक्टिविटी किया, और WHO की जो ग्लोबल गाइडलाइंस है वो है 90 मिनट्स, 150 मिनट्स, मिनिमम 90 मिनट्स. Right, but unfortunately, हम दे रहे हैं 20 minutes. So these are the societal pressure. These issues are directly related to our policies. Right. Next slide, please. So what are the solutions we can provide to our women's physical activities? Light and moderate intensity. Mopping, झाड़ू लगाना, press करना, वॉकिंग, कुछ भी करना, राइट, कपड़े धोना. मशीन में भी अगर हम कपड़े धो रहे तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली वी आर हैविंग नाउ ऑटोमेटेड, फुली ऑटोमेटेड मशीन, वॉशिंग मशीन. दीज आर नॉट गुड फॉर आवर हेल्थ, एवरीवन नोज, बट फॉर सेविंग आवर टाइम they are using it, right? So these are some household goals, and the physical activities, light to moderate, walking, sabji lena, and unfortunately we are following the escalators in the malls. Whenever we are going for the outing, in malls or something like that. So what we are observing, lift and the escalators. You don't need to choose it. Use the stairs until and unless you are unwell, you're not fit. Try to use the stairs. Avoid the escalators and the lift. Right? So these are the some important aspects where you can do some physical activities. And I can see that because majority of my students in Fiji, I've already asked them to do some physical activities and maintain their the result report card, something what you have done. But unfortunately, these things are not applicable and not practicable in the real ground setting. But anyhow, we have to do it. Right. So you can maintain, you can ask your daughter, sister, wife, mother, at least try to maintain the record. Now, what I can see in India, not in India, even the worldwide, majority of the persons are wearing the wearable technologies like the band or Apple watches, like they can, these gadgets can calculate their movements, right? Podcast, I just forgot the name, so that this particular machine can count their movements, right? So these are some unfortunate things we are following. We are heavily depending on these gadgets. But in our olden days, in our old days, I am always saying the golden days, we used nothing. We used nothing. We were heavily dependent upon the natural gadgets. वॉकिंग, कपड़े धोना, ये सब, बर्तन मांजना और जाले साफ करना. अभी घरों में क्या टाइल्स है, टाइल्स आ गया. पहले क्या था, अगर व्हाइट वॉश भी हम लोग करते थे या कुछ भी हफ्ते में सफाई होती थी आंगन की, वो सब की, तो वो भी एक फिजिकल एक्टिविटी में था. गेहूं पीसना, चक्की चलाना, these are the some household chores. But unfortunately, these are the gone. Next slide, please. So what you can do? The recreational games. One, the physical activity, walking, running, jumping. The second one is household chores, घर के काम हम लोग कर सकते हैं. And the third easiest way is recreation games, recreation sports. Right? What you can do, because one of my mentor, he has organized a one sports camp for the females in his locality, and that program was well taken and well appreciated by the society members. Many other society members have motivated with that program, and they have organized these programs repeatedly. अभी क्या हो गया, मंथ में एक महिलाओं का दिन हो गया है, उसमें ये सब रस्सा कस्सी, कैरम, फुटबॉल और जो पहले लंगड़ी टांग और पिट्ठू, ये सब अभी खेल रहे हैं. So we should make these kind of policies. We should make some kind of we should develop some arrangements so that they can enjoy the recreation games. अभी बहुत से लोगों के मन में देखा होगा कि कैरम में क्या फिजिकल एक्टिविटी हुआ है, बट मैंने जो फोटो अभी इसमें इंसर्ट किया हुआ है, यू कैन चेक the level of our women's. These are old women's. So for them, in fact, to just move their hand like this and like this can be considered as a physical activities, right? So this is how you all can do and we should do. I always motivate my wife to do some sort of physical activities. Although it has also been recommended by her doctor, but I am also motivating. And I have made some arrangements within the room, within the my house premises. The same way, I have made an arrangements for my female students, my B.Ed students, so that they can do some physical activity without hampering their day-to-day schedule, right? So these are the things which all need to be catered. The recreation games, because whenever we are talking about sports or something related, sports will take time, money, unfortunately money, determination. And whenever we are talking about the females, still in the 2022, we can see the societal pressures. I can see the societal pressure everywhere, not in particular your state, the West Bengal, not in my state, the UP, not in the Fiji, not in the other country, everywhere. Societal pressures have been imposed on our females, right? So this is the way we can develop some programs. Olympics, the rural Olympics, the rural women Olympics kind of things. I have organized 2 or 3 small programs in Fiji for the women's, but unfortunately it has not been carried out because of the pandemic, right? So this is because in Fiji majority of people are having NCDs, obesity, diabetes. So that's why I have developed this kind of program. Next slide, please. Now you can check the. I'm always saying the important aspect of regular physical activities. Happy brain chemicals. हैप्पी ब्रेन केमिकल्स जैसे हम लोग वो करेंगे फिजिकल एक्टिविटी एक्सरसाइज स्पोर्ट्स कुछ भी एक्टिविटी इनफैक्ट एवरीवेयर इंक्लूड्स राइट नाउ व्हेनेवर आई एम डूइंग टाइपिंग ऑन द लैपटॉप और द डेस्कटॉप इट्स कम अंडर द फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज सीडेंटरी को ब्रेक करना है हमें टीवी का रिमोट से भी अगर हम बार बार ऐसे उठा पटक कर रहे हैं तो ये भी हमारा फिजिकल एक्टिविटीज में आएगा सी फर्स्ट वी ऑल नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द स्पोर्ट्स exercise and the physical activities. I have mentioned that we people are using interchangeably and unfortunately the experts are using interchangeably. Sports, yes, if you're playing sports, yes, you are doing physical activities. Exercise, yes, if you're doing exercise, yes, you are doing physical activities. But physical activities, whenever you are doing the simple physical walking, running, there is no science behind this. There is no rule, there is no regulations, there is no law. Right, so this is how you all can do this. So 4 primary chemicals. I will be discussing on 4 primary chemicals. These chemicals can drive the positive emotions we feel throughout the day. Day-to-day की activities होती हैं dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. You can remember like the word dose. And dopamine is known as the motivational chemical. The important one is the dopamine, is known as the motivational chemical. And it is responsible for feeling and the pleasure. It causes a little happy feeling when someone likes your post on Facebook. Comments on your photo or even complete a small task. अभी इस लेक्चर के बाद ये ऑर्गेनाइजर्स लोग आपको एक वो भेजेंगे लिंक भेजेंगे सर्टिफिकेट के लिए अभी 100 लोगों ने अटेंड कर रहे हैं उसमें से 80 लोगों ने अगर उसे फिल कर दिया तो जो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हैं डेफिनेटली दिस काइंड ऑफ केमिकल्स विल बी सीक्रेटिंग फ्रॉम देयर ब्रेन्स एटलीस्ट हमारा 80% लोगों ने फिल कर दिया बहुत छोटी छोटी बात पे खुश हो जाएंगे मेरे लेक्चरर्स का फीडबैक अच्छा आया तो मैं भी खुश हो जाऊंगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली सीक्रेट हो जाएगा डोपामाइन मेरे माइंड के अंदर राइट दीज आर द ब्रेन केमिकल्स बहुत छोटे टास्क को हम लोग करते रहे डोपामाइन हमारे अंदर आ गया so let me talk about the oxytocin and it is often known as the hugging drug because it is released by the brain during physical contact with others किसी ने आपकी पीठ थपथपा दी प्यार से आपको गले लगा दिया गहरा विश्वास हमारे अंदर डेवलप हो गया राइट एंड somewhere I found that it also boosts our immunity system right? And makes us better problem solvers. So this is the characteristics of oxytocin. Next slide, please, organizers. And the third one is serotonin. Serotonin I'm always taking as a ghamandi or a negative kind of chemical. Particularly, I'm taking it as a negative. Pride, loyalty, status जब भी maintain करते हैं तो हमारे अंदर एक घमंड type आ जाता है तो एक serotonin नाम का chemical है ये. And somewhere we can take it as a very positive manner, like when we feel a sense of accomplishment or recognition from others, we are experiencing the effects of serotonin. इस जो भी प्रोग्राम चल रहा है इसकी सफलता को अगर कई लोगों ने सराहा, अच्छे फीडबैक दिया ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को कि आपने अच्छा किया, सब कुछ अच्छा किया, तो उनके लिए जो एक केमिकल डेवलप होगा, सीक्रेट होगा, वो होगा सेरोटोनिन, बिकॉज it is a sense of accomplishment or recognition from others, right? And the fourth one is our endorphins, and these are responsible for that feeling you get after a great workout, right? So something endorphin is very commonly known as the release in response to pain. एंडोर्फिन के इंजेक्शंस वगैरह जो हमें लगाए जाते हैं, आपने जब भी हॉस्पिटल में सीवियर पेन होता है तो एंडोर्फिन के इंजेक्शंस वगैरह में मॉर्फिन के इंजेक्शंस हम लोगों को लगाए जाते हैं. तो दिस इज समथिंग रिलेटेड टू दिस एंड दे हेल्प अस पुश आवर बॉडीज बियॉन्ड देयर कंफर्ट लेवल्स, राइट? So these are the somewhere you can find these are the laughing chemicals. The endorphin is also known as the laughing chemicals, right? Endorphin, जैसे laughing release the neurochemical endorphin, which is known as the counter chemical. So these are the some and it help us to balance our stress level, our boost mood, and it also can reduce our anxiety, right? So these are the some characteristic of these four chemicals, the dose chemicals, and whenever you are doing the regular physical activities, so these four chemicals can be secreted, right? So these are the some functions of our dose happy hormones, and whenever you are doing the regular physical activity, it can it is not visible, only the neurologist can feel, and some mechanisms are also there, some heavy machineries are also there which can identify these chemicals. So regular physical activities, and whenever it is also proven that women are having great stress than the men, because women have to maintain the social circle, the families, right? And even if they are working, so the office pressure also. But generally we men's are always taking care of our professional aspect. I'm not talking all men's, but majority of them are just taking care of their professional aspects, not the personal aspects. But women's, they have to manage their family, they have to manage their society, they have to manage their community, they have to manage their fund, they have to do the financial planning and all other kind of thing. So they must be having more stress than us, right? So for them, the regular physical activity, exercising are very good for their mental health. Emotion, it can improve their emotions. It can also make them mentally fit, mentally tough, right? So these are the some things which all we need to understand whenever we are talking about the physical activities and the sports. Physical activities in order to promote sporting career, right? So these are some issues which all you need to understand whenever you're talking about the physical activities, because don't take it as a only physical reflection, the physical appearance. No, it also boosts our mood, and NCDs. Like कोरोना से पहले सबसे बड़ा हमारा दुश्मन NCDs था. You can Google it after this lecture. How these NCDs have been affected and severely affected our country, and it also affects the economy of any country. Like in my country where I'm posting now, the Fiji Islands, the government is doing good job. Government is doing, they have developed a good plan, good strategic plan to counter the NCDs. But unfortunately, it rises at every level, right? So these are the all we need to understand, and don't directly relate it to the sporting career, because as I mentioned, the sports takes time, money, and societal acceptance. ये 3 चीज हैं. अभी हमारे बहुत अच्छा किया लड़कियों ने ओलंपिक में, कई लोगों को मोटिवेट किया. इनफैक्ट हमारे भारत की सभी, अभी मुझसे पहले वाले जो स्पीकर थे उन्होंने बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ का भी एक अच्छा जिक्र किया. So please keep in your mind that sports always takes time, money, determination, and the societal acceptance. अभी कई स्टोरीज हैं. जो लड़की रानी रामपाल, हॉकी की कैप्टन थी रामपाल, राइट? तो उसका मैं भी पढ़ रहा था कि वो जब जाती थी तो उसके पड़ोसी भी उसे ताने मारते थे, टोंट मारते थे कि ये क्या लड़की करेगी, ये क्या नहीं करेगी. और जब उसने हमें ओलंपिक में इतना अच्छा मुकाम पहुंचाया, ओलंपिक में दर्जा दिलवाया, तो आज वही पड़ोसी उसे सब एप्रिशिएट कर रहे हैं. तो if as a parent, if you are supporting your girl child, right, but you have to be very particular about the societal acceptance. Like कई बच्चियों की दादी वगैरह भी है, जो भी कई ऑटोबायोग्राफी आप फीमेल्स प्लेयर्स की पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें यू कैन रीड दैट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द illustrious sports female personalities have not been recognized by their grandparents, specifically grandmother, right? So these are the some things which you all need to do. So I'm always saying, please keep promoting the physical activities. Keep promoting in order to achieve the good, healthy lifestyle. Or if you want to make it age longevity, you please do the regular physical activities, and you just need to develop some strategies which must be in a very comprehensive and in a very practical manner, right? So this is all about my today's presentation. Next slide, please. And now you all are free to ask any question. And if you want me to elaborate any particular matter, so I'm always ready to elaborate. Over to you, Shri Pasupati ji, Mahato ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any question? Any question? Please direct contact to our resource person. Direct speak to our resource person. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today's last session. So vote of thanks. I would like to call Dr. Harish Pillai sir, Director of Physical Education and Sports, Chhtrapati Shivaji Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, Amravati, Maharashtra. Please, sir, vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pashupati sir. Hello. हेलो.
Yes, sir, आवाज आ रहा है.
ओके ओके सर. To our most worthy teachers and everyone gathered here for this international webinar, which has been organized by Department of Physical Education, Nistarini College, Purulia, West Bengal, in collaboration with Department of Physical Education, Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, District Amravati, Maharashtra. And topic is Women Empowerment through Games and Sports. I am Dr. Harish Kare, Joint Coordinator of this international webinar. I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to respected Chairperson, Dr. Subal Chandra Dey, on the body, Nistarini College, West Bengal, and CO, Honorable Secretary of Prabhu Frida Vayamandal Vellore, District Amravati, who spared time for his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to hear your valuable thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. I extend my very warm vote of thanks to my elder brother, a keynote speaker, today's keynote address speech by Dr. Praveen Labresar, Professor, Department of Physical Education, Shivaji Krishna Purulia, Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, District Buldana, Maharashtra. He told us in his speech, women are natural born nurture, and how to empower of women through games and sports. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable lecture. Today's invited speaker, Dr. Avdesh Shirostriya, sir, Assistant Professor, School of Education, Fiji National University, Fiji, Iceland, and who came here in his busy schedule and guided us on the topic physical activity, the easiest way to preserve a healthy lifestyle, in which he told on how physical activity are important for us. Thank you, Dr. Avdesh sir, for your valuable guidance. Today we got an opportunity to hear your valuable thoughts, opinions, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. I heartily thanks to the organizing secretary, Dr. Indrani Devman, Principal Nistarini College, Purulia, West Bengal, and Dr. Humant Tungesar, Principal Chhtrapati Shivaji Mahavidyalaya, Asegaon, Purna, District Amravati, Maharashtra, for giving this opportunity to conduct this event. Convener of this webinar, Dr. Chhtrapati Bishwas, Coordinator, Department of Physical Education, and also Associate Professor of Department of Bengali, Nistarini College, Purulia. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us on the new path. My gratitude to all the speakers for gracing the occasion and sharing their opinion today. I am immensely thankful to my colleague, co-coordinator, Professor Chhtrapati Mahato, Department of Physical Education, Nistarini College, for his efforts toward anchoring of this webinar. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation. Finally, our sincerely gratitude goes to all the well-wishers for your rock-solid support system and encouragement. Special thanks to all participants who joined us on Google Meet and also YouTube. A physical educationalist is a student, sports person, for making this event a grand success. Last but not the least, a big thank you to each one of you and entire teaching and non-teaching staff of the Nistarini College and Chhtrapati Shivaji Mahavidyalaya College, who made this international webinar memorable for all of us. Thank you, Pushpati sir, and thank you all the participants once again.
Thank you, Harish Kare sir.
Thank you, Dr. sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar,
sir. Today's international webinar is ended. Okay. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar, everybody.
Namaskar, sir.